When the lion roar, Princess draw near. And the Rastaman voice them want hear. When the lion is I, Ras Negosai representing for the lion voice. Yeah man, log in and subscribe and all the vibes. Let this content be the content of choice. Lion voice. Arrgh.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Ras Tafari, live it. Hey, the lion's voice, Ras Tafari.
Yeah man, greetings Ras Tafari, Hail Emperor Ily King Selassie the First, the perfect balance Empress Menin. This is first man from Ras Tafari Indigenous Village, recognizing, accepting, promoting lion voice. Yes, the voice of Rastafari, speaking about Rastafari, educating Rastafari, preserving, protecting Rastafari. Give thanks.
Aye.
Amina, the time has come for the lioness to tell our own story. No surrender, no retreat, we are Jaja soldier. Rougher than the streets, tougher than a boulder. Bigging up Land's voice. Now put it, I Jollifer said that.
Yeah, David Dread of Steel Pulse, and I'm saying hail to the lion voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here. Hear me now. Oh, yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice. We descend from king and queens.
Yeah. Kadamawi, I did blast first. I am better. Yeah, I live. Burhan. I'm not Joe. For the people.
You can rock to this. Once you hear the bass, then you can't resist. Ladies in the club, them a turn and twist. Ballers at the bar, popping bottles of Chris. Players in the club got rocks on their wrists, plus the thugs in the club got glocks on their hips. This is the way we choose to exist. My people confused by rubber Babylon tricks. My people confused, we trapped by the matrix. DJ make us act like we praise the 666. Gotta stand, we must demand a switch once again. It's time for righteousness, I tell them. Just clap to this, now stand up. You got to dance to this, now hands up. Put your hands in the sky, let them know that we praise the Most High. Stand up and clap to this, now stand up. You got to dance to this, now hands up.
The year is 1892, and the land of Ethiopia has been experiencing 4 years of terrible famine and drought. They call it the Kikuken, or the evil days. At least 1/3 of the human population and 90% of the cattle have died. The hyenas have feasted on so many carcasses that they have become overweight and barely able to move. Just when the people could take no more of the evil days, a woman named Wasiro Yeshimabet is giving birth in a place called Erjersa Gora. This is her 9th attempt to bring forth new life. Her previous 8 attempts only resulted in death. Will this child live? Thankfully, a healthy baby boy is born. His first cries are drowned by thunder and lightning flashes across the night sky. The heavens open up and torrential rain starts to fall. Ethiopia's drought is over, and the baby boy is given the name Tafari, meaning one to be feared or respected. Lich Tafari's father, Ras Makunin, is a very important man in 1892 Ethiopia. Although he is overjoyed at the birth of his newborn son, he cannot spend much time with him. Ras Makunin is the governor of Harar and must get back to the famous walled city to deal with its affairs. Furthermore, He is the foreign minister of Ethiopia, and having traveled to different places in Europe, he is very aware of the material and military advances they have made and the looming threats they pose to his country. Ras Makanen knows that the majority of Ethiopians have no idea what is coming, and that he has to work that much harder to secure the realm. Ras Tafari would grow up to become the legendary emperor, Haile Selassie I. To understand his journey, we must first understand the Ethiopia that he was inheriting and what it was like when he was born in 1892. Get your copy of Kwesi Bansu's book, Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1, The Rise of the Priestly Warrior Kings, and increase your knowledge about the history, politics, and culture of Ethiopia in 1892, and how it connects to the rest of African and world history at the time. Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1 is available for purchase at www.bookmanexpress.pub. Please visit for more information.
Come be a part of history and experience the sharing of wisdom from some of the most brilliant thought leaders in our community. Come see Muda Baruka, Styles P, Nori Muhammad, Lawrence Haja, Dr. Dorothy Holly, Dejaz Mach Kwasi, Deborah Hines, and Midwife Asasia impart their wisdom at Groundings with My Brothers and Sisters, a holistic health conference. A plant-based breakfast and lunch are included. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of his chosen queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwesi Bansu, aka the Chazmach Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man, creative industry attorney. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I am the host of Lion Talk Live. Welcome to the Lion Voice Network, and welcome to Lion Talk Live, where we are bringing frontline soldiers from the Ras Tafari and Pan-African family. Tonight we have a mighty show, a brethren that I've wanted to reason with for a long time and get to reason with a little bit, but tonight we're gonna go deep. Like minds think alike, and I see enough of I and I in the brethren in terms of the movements, and I have a fun place in I heart for Bingy man out of New York, spend many hours at the Bingy house in Brooklyn. Big up Bingy Omar, Bingy Jeremiah, all of them Monday from them time there, Brimstone, all kind of man. Remember all kind of man, and the joy. So we're gonna talk about Rastafari in all year, but we're gonna talk about now the evolution of the Chad now, as the Chad has forwarded into Ethiopia. The reality is this brethren is a brethren that's on the ground in Ethiopia as well. So you know that this is a repatriation channel. We are dealing with the building of Zion. We can't just watch the collapse of Babylon and we say, yes, Babylon is falling and we're married. No, we have to build an alternative or we're going to crash with Babylon. So this channel is all about that. And before I go any further, family, 7 family, we're watching live. I see the item. Give thanks for the coming in. I have to big up the Lion Pride. And if you're new to the platform, you're asking, who is the Lion Pride? If the I subscribe, you're part of the Lion Pride. Put it that way.
this new landscape for content creators is about building community. Everyone have to have their own community, their own ecosystem. And I'm building mine, and I've titled it The Lion Pride. And it's growing, and I'm humbled. When I had this live first strong, we had a Ethiopian New Year episode doing very well. The voice of the second generation. If you haven't seen that one, go and watch that. We had second generation Ras Tafari talking about, you know, what it was like to grow up in the faith. We had all perspectives, you know, and it was a very powerful reason. So if you haven't seen that one, go watch it. But we are, you know, on that episode, I was, you know, asking the family or telling the family we're approaching 5,000 subscribers. And I tell you the response, you know, we hit 5,000. We did 1,000 subscribers in 8 days, family. That is the type of growth that is happening right now on the platform. We're almost at 6,000 by the time Saturday reach. We're on track to cross over 6,000. So I just want to big up all of the new subscribers. Most of the growth is coming from Mama Africa. Big up all of my Kenya family. Nairobi, stand up in this. I got 2 comments from my Nairobi family, because when I look at the analytics, I don't think it's real until I see a comment, I see a human being give me that love. So all of my Kenya family, please, in the comments on the video, they make me see the love. I see the item in the analytics, but I'm not feeling the love. Big up Mombasa, Nairobi family, you know, all of the man them in a Kenya, you know, perfect love. I'm now seeing Libya come up. I don't even know say anybody love Rastafari in a Libya. I say Libya upon TV be a war and these things we see. So when I see Libya now come up in the analytics, I need to see Libya family drop a comment and let me see what going. If it's real Libya and the love is true, drop a comment, make me know you watch from Tripoli, you know, or wherever you're there. Make we see the love in the comment. Become part of the Action Lion Pride, because we have different sections of the Lion Pride. If you subscribe, you're part of the Lion Pride, yes. But if you are part of the Action Pride, that means you watch, you write a comment, you share. You know what I mean? You're active. You're making action in the thing. If you are part of the Lion Pride on Patreon, these are the 17 people you saw at the beginning of the episode. That's the economic engine of this whole platform. They're investing monthly. They see I vision, and they're standing with our shoulder to shoulder and saying, Ras, we gonna make this vision manifest. You know what I mean? And those are from all over the world. I have a Lion Pride on Patreon from Reunion Island off of the coast of Madagascar, people. So this thing is not no local something. Big up Ras. In Kwaba, latest Lion Pride on Patreon. I don't know where the eye from, but when I see the name, it look like a Mama Africa. You're the same way. Big up yourself. All of the recent Ashkastic records, all of the recent ones, I have to big up Ras Andre too, because he's my first patron, and him leave for a time and him come forward and message I and Lion Pride on Patreon is like that. Sometimes, you know, you have to shuffle up something, but enough of them will shuffle up and come forward. So I have to big up them, man. They Fight Babylon, you know what I mean, Freeway Dread. These men are there making sure that you see the pretty scrolling across the bottom of the screen and them something there. That's the Lion Pride on Patreon, because you have to upgrade your StreamYard if you want all these features. You know what I mean? We have to pay for them thing there. So I give thanks for the Lion Pride on Patreon, and we're taking this to blockbuster films, animated movies. This brethren here is an artist, and trust me, I'll watch him, you know, me tell him say he need to learn to animate, because we're gonna make some cartoon where we'll shook the world. I tell you, we have some stories to tell. But we gotta fund it ourselves. The only way we stay independent and non-aligned family is if we fund it ourselves. If we're waiting for Hollywood and then we want to burn them out because they never do this and that, that is delusion and madness. I support that. We have to make the stories ourselves. We have to do the things and it's going to be funded buy the item, the Lion Pride, on Patreon. Then also you have the Ubuntu Lion Pride. These are man with us one time, anything over $50 US, you become part of the Ubuntu Lion Pride, because some man can't do the subscription, don't want that on their account, the reoccurring fee on their account. They just want support. So we have a couple man with just gear strength. They're Ubuntu, because we know say we in them heart. And those are the Ubuntu Lion Pride you see at the beginning of the episode. And then we have the Watch and Peep Lion Pride, you know, the watchers, those who watch, never comment, never say nothing, from all over the earth, because the views, we're almost at 20,000 views for the last 28 days, you know what I mean? So the views are a lot more than those who subscribe, and that consists a lot of the watchers too, you know. The peepers are those who just watching to see a thing pop down. They don't want nothing good for you. In America, they call them haters. In Jamaica, we say bad mind. But they're an important part of every ecosystem. Every healthy ecosystem. If you don't have them, then you're probably not doing anything of note, you know what I mean? But once you're doing something of note, you're going to have the peepers. And they will spread the word of mouth. When them a bad talk you, they will spread the word. So don't focus on them. Don't let them influence how you run your thing. But you have to acknowledge them, big them up too when you get a chance. The peepers, big up the Watch and Peep Lion Pride. So that is the Lion Pride family. Again, we're building a community here. It's not just the interviews. It's not just the special presentations. It's not just the other content that we're building a community to make the change that we want to see. We're tired of the talking, the little petty differences, all them things they're boring to I. May I tell them the truth. We want to see progress. We want to see some health centers. We want to see some schools that rival Juilliard in the creative arts. We want to see, you know what I mean, we start standardize and lift up this Rastafari thing to the highest, because we know what it is, you know what I mean, we know what it's capable of, and that's going to be part of our conversation, our conversation tonight. Big up Ras Lidge from Mia King Design. When you see I man, I sip my water, you know, say Ras Lidge, Rastafari Business is the sponsor. It keeps your liquids hot or cold. Send the email. You see the email at the beginning of the episodes. Them support Rastafari Business. Big up CMAS Life, Wally Kings, greatest CMAS drink ever made. I'm on Bridget. Me not just say that because me bias. But we live this thing that we talk. So big up all of the small businesses. If you want to advertise with the platform, reach out. We can work out something. We're building right now, you know what I mean? So housekeeping out of the way. I'm getting ready to introduce this one. You're sweet. I'll tell the I family, the brethren is such a true creative, you know what I mean, in all sense of the word, multi-talented. You know, I learned about the brethren first because he was doing the remixes of popular hip-hop songs, and a brethren Senai, the video, you know what I mean, and I was playing it. I just tell the brethren that the song used to run in my house and repeat because my little daughter used to love the song, and we used to play it. I'm a Rasta man, you know. We make the brethren have to go do a acapella or something, but you know what I mean. The thing was so mighty, and then the brethren catalog or lion log is extensive. But when you see the brethren artwork, and we're gonna look at some of the pieces, we're gonna bring them up on the screen and have the brethren explain some of them. You're gonna see this brethren. It's a heights, you know what I mean. He also shoots and edits his own videos. Did I mention that part there? Trust me, is miraculous. So, Lion Pride, help I to give a warm welcome to Ras Ily Culcha. Ily.
Greetings, brother. I give thanks. It's a pleasure to be here. Greeting, brother Kwasi. Greetings to you and your audience, the whole Lion Pride.
You see it. And I have to have their own audience. You call them what you want to call them, but this is one of the things that I really trying to bring to I family is building these communities, these ecosystems around creatives, and the I King is a perfect one for this model because you have so many facets of the I self. But before we get into the facets, I want the I to jump into the Lion Talk time machine and make we take a iritical trip down to the place of the I birth, where the I trod into the physical manifestation and give us the I journey to far I, you know?
Yes, sir. Give thanks and praise. Iman is a young brethren that is in a long journey. Iman is one of them brethren that, sight up Rastafari from my teenage years. Iman is born in Brooklyn, New York, and I would say Old York. Of parentage, my father is from Jamaica, my mother is from Trinidad. And it's of a such community as such, in Brooklyn, it's really synonymous with that Caribbean culture. It's a whole mixture, but one from all over the island. And, it has that influence, so yeah, man, coming up in that community, in that time, like the late 90s, even in the music, the cultural music was very pervasive that we get to see even that, like Ras Tafari artists were signing major company recording deals, like with Def Jam and these companies, like Capleton and so forward. And, why and I did see on the ground the influence with even people in the community that would like ones we'll know that were like youngsters or bad man, as we would have it. We see them nuts up and turn peaceful man, and everybody respect them and so on. They'll be like mystic, It's like, the vibration was heavy, in my teenage years,
Yes.
the late 90s.
Okay, I was just going to ask the I. So what year was the I born?
Iman was born in 1982.
Okay, so there's a little bit younger than I am, a 77 edition. So the I come a little bit after I, but the I is the same generation pretty much.
Sides, and I be a witness, and I was inclined to such, so, that started like that kind of spark, when the search just, it's like a wormhole.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
So where did I go to high school? Because we have Brooklyn Lion Pride, them other one, or where people like them information there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a virgin. I went to Tilden High School. That's also in the East Flatbush area too. You know what I mean?
So what was the vibes like? It was a Caribbean vibe at the high school.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? It was a Caribbean vibe. It was, a black cultural high school. It's like a majority of the students, it would be in extracurricular activities, so that a lot of students would be going home till nighttime. It was very like communal and so forward, so it was, yeah, man, it was a good vibe.
It was a school for the arts, is what they are saying.
Yes, I was school for art and law likewise.
Okay, because this is what I want to get into, because I think we need these type of institutions for Rastafari, because almost every Ras I meet, brethren and sisters, are creative in some kind of way, and we don't have an institution where we foster these things. So this was like a Juilliard type of vibration.
Similar, not specifically towards art, but it had its special programs in art and so forward. Iman will be in special arts program and so forward.
Okay, because thy art is not no simple art at all. It's really high level art that the eye is doing. So when was the first time that the eye really sight Haile Selassie now? Trod in. Yes, your parents are from the Caribbean, but that doesn't mean that Rastafari is going to be predominant in the household, And in fact, a lot of Caribbean homes, people don't realize are anti-Rastafari, especially from our parents' generation. So when, take us to when were you first conscious in Brooklyn of Haile Selassie, and what made you gravitate?
Yes, I you know, it's all same within the messaging in the music likewise, you know, because I'm personally grew up in a Christian home, you know, my mother, you know, every Sunday had to be in the church, you know, I had to comb out the head and thing, you know, I was always a twine up youth, you know. Yeah, so it was as such, you know, and you know, inclining and just hearing the message, you know. I man, you know, hearing Selassie, I live it every time.
Aye.
And you know, and my brother says, is Haile Selassie the first? I'm like, huh? And so, you know, the wormhole, it started to incline, start to search. And you know, and in my searching in the community, you know, as we see Rastafari popping up, you know, they were also Rastafari independent businesses, you
Okay.
know, usually where you see the red, gold, and green flying, it'll be a Rastafari business. And I buck upon one of them, I King vibes, wherein ones were selling books and banners and everything associated with Rastafari, and you know, my thirst began to get quenched in these locations, you know.
Talk about New York City in those days, because I don't think people around the world realize, you know, when you talk about independent Rastafari businesses, there were Rastas that were owning taxi cab companies, there were Rastas that were owning buildings, there were Rastas with stores. Talk about the environment with Rastafari and business in New York City. What was that like in the late 80s, 90s coming up, you know, even through the 90s?
Yeah, man. Well, you know, it's through the 90s, you know, as I man, as a young youth man, you know, these were places where I man used to frequent, you know, like John's Records on Church Avenue and so forward. And we see these black businesses in the community, you know, as far as Rastafari businesses, you know, like I said, through the music and the cultural like influence, things like red, gold, and green and banners were flying off of the shelves and things like that. Books and clothes, everything associated with the red, gold, and green was flying off of the shelf at that time, you
Yeah.
know.
That was the
So
late 90s.
like late 90s, yeah, you
That
know,
was
this is
rise of
when I
Algie,
man
Sizzler, Anthony B, them time there.
bullseye, yeah, you know, and like I said, I see the influence on the ground and so forward, and you know, so when going amongst ones, you know, like I named like one Jeremiah and I Brethren Bongo Wadada.
Wadada, yes,
I mean, yeah, man, these ones here, you know, they would run such a business, and I you know, would see the exchange of different businesses. Ones have their independent business and would bring their products, and they would trade and barter, whether it be Corey from Ethiopia, Alem from Ethiopia,
Big up Ras
Brandy,
Corey.
Sister would make time, and yeah, man, I, you know, at the time, man, I were like a fly on the wall to giants, yeah, man, you know, just to hear the sounds coming off one's and one's lips. Like I said, it would have quenched my thirst, and likewise, one would point me in a direction like, this is the Kevin Agast, you know, you should sip that, you know. This is the Lord books. This is Majesty autobiography. You need to sip that, and yeah, you know.
Serious. I'm big up. You know, there's so many names I can call from Old York, Rasaya Stan, Bingy Glen, Ras Abdul. You know, if me start call names, you forget people, so I can't do it. But you know, what I mean, we had so much joy because they used to come to DC. We used to go up to New York. You know what I mean, and everybody was fiery. So it was just, all this testosterone and vibration and ISIS, every man have them harp and, it's like two armies connect, soldiers of the army. So I have fond memories. However, something happened. I don't know the fullness, but the vibe not so strong again, which is unfortunate. But we won't go there so right now. I want go to the eye journey now. So you're seeing these red, gold, and green. You're interacting with the races, but everyone has to have their journey with reconciling. From a Christian home, how do we see the divinity of the emperor? How was your relationship? How was that? And how do you see the emperor?
Yes, well, my inquiry and questions were answered through biblical prophecy, where how ones would point out to that Kevin and Gus. When it came to the scriptures, one would point out to the scriptures like Revelation 5, verse 5, Acts 2, 29 and 30, the throne of David, and the Nazarene vow and so forward. It was like proof to me, because I man come up in church, but many of these verses I never heard. So it is in that self journey now. I man start to sit the scripture from Genesis to Revelation, and in my inquiry, it was like checking off, and at the time, like I said, as a teenager, I come up in the church, so there were clashes with the parents, and I say, well, I'm a Nazarite and so forth. And my mother said, well, I'm a Gentile, and I said, I am Israel, man, and so it got Iman to even get more deeper in my search and so forward, and that thirst was like an unquenchable thirst that just bring me into like higher heights, that, as His Majesty say, learning and the quest for knowledge ends only at the grave, though.
Yes, I.
Yeah, man. So I man for that purpose. I man see His Majesty as a manifestation of the biblical prophecy of the Christ man returning, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. The manifestation of the Most High Xavier, living flesh on earth.
Okay.
Yes,
we love it, and it shows in the eye work. The eye work is inspired. I have to say that. Big up Jalifa official sister of the channel. Hail Rastafari, watching from Trinidad. Yes, big up Trinidad family on the check-in. If you haven't watched Jalifa episode, please go watch the Jalifa episode. Mighty sister, and she's a superstar, and we're getting to witness the uprising. So definitely big up Samande. Read Samande, make we know where you're watching from. Check in. Jamari Spencer, big up yourself, Jamari. Greetings everyone, peace and blessings. Let us know where you're calling in from. Jamari, this is a global family. Ras Edy Idu, blessed love Rastafari family, love from Brazil. Big up yourself. Blessed brother Nicholas, greeting from Cedro Woodley, Washington, near Seattle. Big up yourself, family. We are here with Ras Ily Culcha, born in Brooklyn, multi-talented. When did I discover that you had all of these talents?
Man, it's the inclination. It's man is a mountain climber, metaphorically speaking, like might climb a mountain and see a higher peak and climb that, from a youth. Man, first love is the illustrative arts, sketching and cartoon drawing and things, yeah. You know, my mother was a secretary for the Department of Labor. You know, she used to work downtown, and her office like had a view of the city. You know, so when I used to go to her job, I used to draw the city line, and her co-worker now used to buy the drawing them off for me. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. So like, yeah, the first inclination was the illustrative art side. You know,
Okay.
and yeah, man. Yeah, man. And just a 2 seconds, please. I would pray the eye like, you know, it's like for this is like encapsulates my sentiment
Yes, I.
in regards to the art, a small portion of His Majesty word sound.
Yes, I. Free up. This is a Rastafari platform, you know. You're on Rastafari media. If you want Block His Majesty, we love that.
Give thanks, sir. Give thanks, sir. This is a small portion of His Majesty word sound um at the School of Fine Arts. You know, a small portion of it. His Majesty declares. Nine I Rastafari, and glory to word, glory to sound, and glory to the power of the Most High Emperor Selassie the First. It's to clear the way for I and I heavens, you know, within the Rastafari I live in. I pray that. The words of Thy Majesty. Our customary support shall always be forthcoming to similar efforts in the fields of music and literature as well. A purely materialistic art would be like a tree which is expected to bear fruit without flowering, and to sacrifice grace and beauty for mere utility. Those who learn here should from the beginning sedulously avoid the spirit of utilitarianism. Our admiration for the Creator's handiwork should not be limited to those things He provided us with for our daily needs, but shall include all that is good and beautiful. It is these tender feelings of deep and silent admiration evoked from our hearts by the beauties of creations that shall find adequate expression in the fine arts. See that?
Yes. So give us the interpretation of that.
Yes, I had that, you know, like, you know, the inspiration, you know, in even being a creator of art is like being a creator as the Most High as the creator, who's the first artist. That when I and I behold His beauty, like the creation, the flowers, the waterfalls, and so forward, it's like it's awe-inspiring, you know, which is actually like the actual pay in the art. So to be able to create something awe-inspiring, it was something that was intriguing from a youth that I could draw something and somebody, a big man would say, yo, I can't even do that. Yeah, so the awe-inspiring vibration, like, man, yeah, connectify.
And that speech to I is also the reason why righteousness can never be boring, because there's no limit to artistic expression. You know what I mean? There's really, because he said you can't just look at things that just because they're useful. So design can take on so many forms. And as we're building Zion, it's not just we're going to build a better sanitation system, but we can make it so idolful, you know. You have plant-based sanitation systems. You know, what does that look like at scale? You know, the reed extraction and these things. We can create a new earth that is in harmony. That's the opportunity that presents for I and I as Farai sons and daughters. And that's why creatives, you know, we have to lay out the vision. I think Wickedness has done such a good job of marketing and selling their lifestyle to the youth, and I don't think we have done justice, you know, because people think righteousness is boring. That's why they want to go deal with badness, or they want to deal with things that are hedonistic, you know what I mean? The I, you know, when did the music section come in within the I trad, you know, and what made the I say, you know what, I'm going to take these popular songs and I'm going to put a Farai spin on them?
Yes, I well, likewise, I man was inclined musically at an early age, likewise to like I was one who had a DJ inclination at one time, and you know what I mean, Father. My father forgive me that I ran a rampage through his record collection. You know, yeah, scratch up some of his old records and things.
Yes.
Yeah, I had to pay him forward, but yeah, you know, um, yeah, man, from early, used to love the music, and even when I was a young youth, like even 12 years old, 11, 12, brethren form a group, and his mother was a promoter, and so she used to try push us. We used to sing for them in the living room, tell them carry us, go studio, and go and recording and so forward. And yeah, it was something we were inclined to, from a early age, and and it's just now with the inclination to Rastafari and seeing its effects, we were inclined in that direction likewise. So, I started now to shift even from the rap hip hop and start singing even some more reggae music,
Yes, yes.
within the culture. And yeah, man, yeah, man, yeah, man. You know what I mean? It was in tandem.
Um, when was the first time? Well, first of all, have you been to the Caribbean? Period. I know the answer, but may I ask?
Yes, I was one where, from early, I went to Jamaica in about 1987. So I was about 5 years old at the time there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I went to Trinidad prior to that. So intermittently, we would go these places as like, our summer trips from time to time.
Yes, yes. And
You know,
how
so,
did that impact the eye development coming from, what differences coming from big city New York? It doesn't get bigger, doesn't get busier than New York City. Going down to a Jamaica, going down to a Trinidad, what was your young brain programming at that time?
yeah, man, it was good to see the contrast. New York is a place where, we can say it's quite cold at times, where you see people, their own neighbor would walk right past them, and that's something is a stark contrast to what I see taking place in the islands, where it's good morning, neighbor, good evening, miss, how you doing? And so
Yes.
yeah, and we see the contrast there. It is indeed what they would term a concrete jungle in the city
Yes.
here. So it was eye opening, and likewise, I said we were in that Caribbean community, even in New York. So it's like the influences, like in New York or so, you would see a one would say, "Yo, I only got one left." But I Jamaican brother also would say, well, I'm gonna break the one in half.
Hard.
So yeah, so instead of the I, me, mine, me, we learn the hours and the communal thing. That was, yeah, I see that more within that culture, you know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, I am.
So in terms of the first song, take us to the first song you recorded, and do you remember the name of that song?
Ooh. Ah, man.
Or do you remember the year? Do you remember the year? Were you still in high school when you recorded your first song?
No, I was in junior high school, like junior high school.
Okay, before you even touch high school.
Yeah, 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 man. Junior high school, about 12, 13 years old. I believe it's a song named Rolling Low. I rap. That's me and my brethren Bucks, bring up my brethren Bucks, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, from that time, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in terms of the filming now, You know what I mean? Because this brethren, I want everyone to Google or go on YouTube and search out the brethren. What's their YouTube page?
My YouTube page is Culture Live. CULCHALIVE at YouTube.
So subscribe to the brethren platform. Let's get this brethren up. And I want the item to go and look at the videos, the music videos. The brethren shoots his videos and edits the videos. Where did that skill come from, and what was that journey in terms of deciding to, shoot your own videos and edit your own videos?
Yes, that's all, part of that same independent spirit. It was a fervent fire within I and I when I and I wanted to release some music. I and I were working with ones who were organizing some video production for I, and it was given to I to make a treatment, and that time I actually learned what a treatment was. I'm just, learning the situation, and that fell through for me. And I needed to get that work done. And I was almost, like crying on my brethren's shoulder, like, man, this kind of situation fell through for me, man. And, and him say, I have the same kind of camera, it's like a lie, man. And I have another brethren who was a photographer. So my brethren loaned me the camera. My photographer brethren now gave me some pointers and so forward. And from then we start going to like YouTube University.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, me and my brethren helped me shoot my first video, me edit it and so forward. Like it was like learning within the process.
What program did they use to edit?
It was Sony Vegas Pro.
Okay. So there's no excuse right now, family. This is how we know we're in that spiritual Aquarius age, because whatever you think, you can literally manifest. The tools are right there. YouTube University is a real thing on every topic you can think of, you know what I mean? Naga Kings say he's checking in from West Baltimore, but I'm a member of Local 101. Big up yourself, Naga King. Jamari Spencer joining the Lion Pride from Guyana. Hey boy, big up yourself. Yeah man, grew up with Guyanese, whole heap of Guyanese brethren, sister, Gainam me, regular on the Lion Pride out of California. Big up yourself. Culture Live. Say the YouTube again.
Culture Live, one word. Just so I am. Yes, I am. Culture Live, but again, one word.
Yes, Lion Pride. So go over, subscribe to the Brethren platform, like we show love. Part of the Lion Pride thing is that we want to strengthen our family. This is not just about I. You know what I mean? We want the Lion Pride as a force for positive action. Yes, we're talking, we're documenting the history, we're telling our story, but we also want to circulate the Rastafari Pan-African dollar. We want to see us strong, and the only way to do that is collective security. $5 here, $10 here, spreading it around. We don't have millions, we don't have all of this money, but we do have currency passing through our hands, and we need to make sure it passes the brethren and sister hands more. So spend some money with the brethren. We're going to show some of his products as well, because the brethren also makes Tams. When I say the brethren multi-talented family, I don't think they are them overstand, and there's nothing with the brethren do on no shabby level. Everything is excellent. Talk to us about the tam making. Where did that skill come from?
Yes, sir. Give thanks, sir. Yeah, man. I was one of those when I took up the faith, early and I Rastafari liberty, You know, I brethren showing it was not no pretty locks twine up thing, make the most I make your locks, make it come together naturally, you know. So I man find out that, you know, as a young brethren coming up, my natty was coming in different kind of way where it wasn't so easy for me to, you know, put on any hat, you know, yeah, man. So a sister used to, you know, with the sister and sister Shaki that used to frequent the same cultural store with her hats, and she started to make Iman custom hats, you know, and it was something Iman took great pride in, you know, because Iman was a youth that come up and was inclined to name brands and those things, and, you know, it was European name brands, Polo, Tommy Hilfiger, and these things. So, like, to have something that was like tailored to I, it was, you know, it was like Irie, you know, till eventually this same sister taught Iman how to do the crochet thing. And, you know, this had to be at least 20 years ago, you know, and man, you know, just developing Iman style over the years to, you know, to now I have it. Like a science, my brethren, you know?
Yeah, you see it because it's very intricate needlework. They do everything by hand.
Yeah, yes, sire. Yes, sire. It's by hand. It's handcraft, you know, specialty, you know, you know, and I give thanks even for the community support over the time, you know, and I have seen the strength, you know, and one's comment on, you know, the comments they receive from wearing the crowns, and that's even, you know, that more awe-inspiring encouragement for you know. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, there is a true artist in every sense of the word sound. Is the eye able to live full time off your creative works, or do you have another job that helps to balance the finance?
Yeah, I live full time off the creative works for, you know, I have my personal endeavors, but I likewise also take different contracts, whether it be for graphics, whether it be for illustrating books, whether it be for video production, whether it be for mural painting, or so it's more contractual work outside of my like personal endeavor.
Yes. So ones can hire, because I have my eye on the eye, you know. May I tell you, cause I have this vision of Rastafari animation. You know, I grew up watching cartoons, you know what I mean, Transformers and all kind of different cartoons, and you're getting at the storylines them, and you know what I mean. I love animation, comic books, them thing there, and we have so many stories, you know what I mean.
Yes,
One of the I see Into the Spider-Verse with Miles Morales is a Sony.
yes.
That style of anime. Can you imagine all a Badla Adawa film with them type of animation?
Man. Man.
Majesty at the Chaz match, you know what I mean, the war for Addis Ababa, you know, them kind of, you know what I mean, and you go into the history and the intrigue, and there's so much vision that we can do with animation as a medium to capture the history.
Right. You know, and you know, in that same speech, you know, a little earlier in the speech, you know, His Majesty, you know, not verbatim, but said like, you know, Ethiopia's arts must like grow at a pace with the world's art, you know, that it can be able to stand next to, you know, the art that's out there. So yeah, on them same kind of realms, it would be good, you know, because I man likewise, you know, have an eye on the eye, and I must commend the eye on, you know, the programming here, you know, I man also, you know, watch and be a witness and seeing that it's becoming like a index for the culture, like how I used to have encyclopedia books. I want to come to the channel and see on vast different subjects. I man give thanks. It's a service, and I man appreciate it. I give thanks.
Thanks to hear that, and I'm glad that I say that, because and I'm really trying this year to capture a lot more elders, because we're losing the elders them so rapidly, you know. So I'm going to be doing my best to interview as much elders as I can, because they have to tell their story. And yes, they do different documentaries one away, but because YouTube is accessible around the world and it's just so easy to access, we have to be on these platforms as well, so that everyone, you know what I mean, we have Lion Pride from Guyana, from Brazil, from all, you know, on just on this live here, and, you know, hundreds more will watch the replay. So we have to have these testimonies so that the global family can see, and we have to remind ourselves of our own greatness, because I think we forget as Rastafari how great we are, because a lot of times the only thing we're seeing are the artists, you know what I mean, or the entertainment side, and we forget we have doctors, lawyers, graphic artists, architects, engineers, grassroots organizers. There's so many ones who are living His Majesty, which is why Rastafari has that integrity all over the earth, because of the workers. And that's why I created this platform, so we can have balance. We can interview the big artists, but we also can talk to the frontline workers that, you know what I mean, give the movement that backbone, so to speak. Talk to us about the I first trod to Africa. How old was the I when the I made that first trod?
My first trip to Africa, I was about 34 years old.
Okay. And what country did I touch first?
I went to South Africa.
Okay.
Yes,
take us through that trip, that journey. What was that process?
Yes, well, you know, before such, you know, I'm man as a Rastafari, made a couple yards through the Caribbean, and it's like I'm at first saw a flyer of an international gathering taking place, and I didn't know anyone out there, or it was like a shot in the dark, you know. Till, you know, I black with couple, you know, I speak with couple of brethren and so who made certain calls and, you know, said, well, you know, a young brethren coming through, give him the regular red carpet treatment, you know. So reached in St. Vincent at that time, and, you know, that gave me encouragement now to, like, I can do it, you know, like I could go, you know, to these countries and so forward, and, you know, with certain preparation, and, you know, it's not a fear element, you know. So yeah, at that time went to South Africa, went to Johannesburg, went to Cape Town, and it's really in Cape Town where I really got to meet up with the Rastafari community in the Marcus Garvey community in the Western Cape.
Okay.
And, you know, they were really, you know, really introducing me to the culture there. For, you know, many ones there consider South Africa in itself Zion, you know, and, you know, it's the African rock, you know. Yeah, man. So it was a strength, but yeah, that was my first introduction to the continent in South Africa.
How long did I stay there?
I stayed there for about a month.
Okay.
Yes,
So you had a nice little sip.
Nice little sip.
Did any cold catch you? Because I hear South Africa gets cold. Did any cold catch you down there?
No, you know, I happened to go there like in around like the month of November, December, where it was actually summer at that time, you know.
Okay.
So never really get the cold season there. Yeah, you know, as I know on these regions here, them time it start get cold.
Yes.
Yeah.
So give thanks. That was experience. And then what was the next trip to Africa?
Next trip to Africa was 2 years after. I returned one time after the South Africa. Then the next trip 2 years after was my introduction to Ethiopia.
Okay.
Yes, I know it's a thing close to I and I Rastafari people's heart, I and I chanted in I and I prayers. It was something that was pointed out to I and I even in my youthful days coming up, even within like the Psalms 87 and so forward, his foundation and
Yes.
Ethiopia and leopard cannot change his spots, nor the Ethiopian his skin color.
Yes.
Aren't you like the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel?
Yes.
So yeah, these connections, like, it was like Ethiopia was like that fulfilling kind of mission for Ayman there. At that time there was a all Rastafari gathering taking place. So Ayman did
What
come
year
in
was
and
that?
feature.
What year was that?
That was 2018. So this happened to be the second conference of such.
Okay. Okay. And and
Mm.
and what was the vibration going to Ethiopia, seeing His Majesty, works physically? Because I can know what my reaction was like the first time I touched in. But how did I, experience Ethiopia for the first time?
Yeah, man. I mean, I give thanks. I give thanks for those, who had made that mission and, like laid out that groundwork. And, it's something that, when I man come see it now, it is something indeed breathtaking because these ones who were laying out the groundwork and were documenting things such as like the centenary trad in 1992. I used to watch them video there religiously.
Yeah, the DVD. Yeah, man, I had it.
So like
Yeah.
seeing these places on video, the Trinity Cathedral, Mountain Toto, and these things, like seeing them on video, even the Tabernacle in Shashamani, seeing in so much videos, and to like now go and see it in real actuality. It was breathtaking. It was, man, it's hard to put in words, my brother. It is hard to put in words, my brother,
Yes, bro.
when the Muslims go to Mecca, and when they go and they make their Hajj, when they return, they have a whole new name, new prefix to their names.
Yes,
It's like seeing that is like you're never the same again.
it's true. It's true.
You
Do
know.
you find because one of the things I find a lot of our brethren here, and for various reasons in the West, have not made that trod to the continent, and we chant Africa and all our Naya Bingi chants, going home and these things. Does the I don't talk repatriation with anyone because I don't have time for that right now. I'm at a different part of my chart. But how does the I reason with ones about Africa? I'm talking specifically Rastafari ones that are just in the survival mode. They just on the grind. You know what I mean? Do you have that conversation with them, or you just leave them in their vibe? How do you approach that? Because I've had reasons where Rasta try talk against repatriation to I live and see these things, where man I tell them they have to save the ones here, they can't go Africa right now, or that the whole earth is Zion. And all right, that's so them that how does the I approach that reasoning, or does the I approach that reasoning?
Yes, well, it's a thing, of course, which requires much patience. As I said, I know of certain responses or typical responses where I and I would get, from different ones and different perspectives and reasonings, and it's something I try not to impose, But I don't, pardon me if I seem to go on a tangent, but I would also often refer to, His Majesty's war speech and, once know it through Bob Marley and,
Yes, yes.
and I know that this speech came after the World War II with such a world catastrophe. All these countries around the world were rebuilding their countries from the war. Likewise, Ethiopia. So that by the time His Majesty even made his first trip to the United States in 1954, His Majesty came with an enticing invitation for Africans in America to return to Ethiopia to help build an empire where they can utilize their skills without facing any discrimination. And I know a week before His Majesty came through in America, they passed the Brown versus Board of Education, which now, when I observe it would seem as to make it more habitable for the domicile slave descendants in these regions
They didn't want
instead of
they didn't want to lose their black population to the black king.
right,
A
right,
resource to come home. Came and called his children from the ends of the earth, and they did not want that to happen.
right,
Very astute analysis, Bridget. And
indeed,
also, they made sure they had all of the black officers in the military. They gave them the opportunity to line the streets of DC. So when His Majesty was inspecting the army, he would see black faces. They did everything. They pull out all of the stops, so to speak, on that trod. That was Eisenhower, and and he was also a general in World War II. His Majesty had been invited by previous president, but that was the first time he accepted. So there's a lot of history that the I reference, and I love how the I take it forward to His Majesty to talk about repatriation and dealing with brethren, because I think that sometimes when you don't focus on His Majesty, you lose direction. And I think, the brethren that I see that have not centered His Majesty in their life, I don't see them progressing. You know what I mean? They're kind of stuck in whatever them stuck in. Every brethren I know that is moving forward from that time that we're talking about, that late 90s, early 2000, when, there was whole heap of activity. That was kind of like a little small golden era. But enough ones trim from that time, enough ones fall away, enough ones get distracted, enough ones lose that first love and that zeal, for the liberty from that. And we see that the gatherings, we see it in the whole vibration and everything. But when we check a lot of ones not to deal with His Majesty, because them born the Bible or them born Christianity, they don't like His Majesty sound on certain thing, them disagree with the king, and them just create our own kind of almost sub-religion, which them just do things as them feel. How does the I navigate? Because New York is the capital, one of the capitals of that type of vibration, where is a lot of war in a New York family. How is the I? And I know that the I is a beloved brethren across the platform. This is why I asked the I. How does the I able to navigate without getting caught in that kind of tribalism, kind of within Far I? You know what I mean? I'm talking now specifically.
Yes, sir. Well, yes, I know that, in New York, there are a lot of many factions. There's a lot of, as I said, there's many cultures. Even when it comes to Rastafari, many receive of Rastafari from many different points and different knowledge and doctrines. So from time to time, you would see these clashes. So, you know what I mean? For Iman personally, the measuring stick indeed is His Majesty as the standard bearer, and Iman personally, I do, hold peace with various ones. You might see I different occasions, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Yeah, I typically ride amongst the Ayabingi house.
Yes, I.
Right? Yeah, but that doesn't prohibit me from going to another Rastafari organization in peace and
Yes.
not to say, well, yeah, them doing wrong over here. No, it's feeding and watering the commonalities. That's how I'm really navigate, and utilize the strength of ones because me see people argue, and one of them is a herbalist, one of them is a plumber, where they could be serving each other,
Yes.
instead
Yes.
of the argument. So like the utilization of the strength, and for me, Ethiopia is something that I man see is a common denominator for all islanders Rastafari. So I kind of stick to that line, and even for what it's done for me, because one point I would like to highlight likewise of what I man be a witness to in Ethiopia as pertaining to His Majesty. I man see His Majesty printing press, Berhanan Salam,
Yes. Yes.
forgive I, it's still running today.
Okay.
At Bessa Bus Company, still running these days, that it's monumental things that's tangible, that's still functioning to this day, that, observing His Majesty, that His Majesty was head over an African empire with all its different elements to it. Wherein I coming up in a Babylon society, I come in a kind of anti-imperialist, fire upon the authority, fire upon the police. But wearing in empire Ethiopian perspective, I must have I own police. I must fill all the ranks of doctors, lawyers, parliamentarians. I empire. I pray I for be along with me, but give thanks.
No, this is the I highlight. I'm glad when I can take a break. I know the Lion Pride love to hear the I testimony that the I is bringing forward. You know what I mean? The I really touch some points. Big up Sister Lilith checking in from House of Seba Trelawney family. I have to big up my Jamaica family. Jamaica used to be my number one demo until the Kenyan them start feel away, and thus, Kenya right now a lead, but Jamaica always, you don't know, we were born there, so we have to represent the sixth region. Nicholas said, Ras Ily Culcha designed the library cards for Rastafari Community Development Office in Mombasa. Great works. Big up yourself. Nick is doing some powerful work with the Rastafari community in Mombasa. Again, me says, yes, you have some different things.
Aishan.
I load
That's
subs.
true.
Okay, she's
Yeah.
up on the I channel. Big up yourself. Yes, Lion Pride. We deal with collective security. Thanks for the advice, my family. Big up yourself, Jamari. Give thanks for the support. Multi-talented, multidisciplinary example. Yes. She said, I got the youth and artists who are red. Red. Why? Ready. Okay. Serious thing. I got an active media literacy project. Yeah, we have to reason about it. Zaire Stone asked, did you get a new name? Did you get a new name when you went to Ethiopia?
No. I was that, I had a new name in Rastafari, coming up as a youth man,
Yeah.
Rastafari till I say same way. They say Ras, you have to be born again, You had to be born again, you had to be baptized in the fire, and your name that you carry in the world. That's a Babylon name because it attached to slavery and your last name and so forward. So
Yes.
yeah, as a Rastafari youth, took up the identity as a one being born again and took up that name. The ones know me former as Congo Ily, and within the works and so forward, eventually the ones just know me as Ily Culcha,
Highly
you
cool.
know. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Give thanks. And I think Zaire, you came in late. He said he grew up in a Christian home. Does your family accept your Rastafari liberty?
They likewise my view of seeing the youths in the neighborhood who have changed their life for a positive turn, it had a similar impact in my family eventually that they're seeing the impact of the Rastafari liberty in my life. That things at one time they used to even scorn me for, like, like say you're eating only them kind of food there, you're gonna starve yourself, man. So
Yes.
where they eventually start to look to the advice, like where you putting that or how you cook that or yeah, man. So I give thanks in all humility, because every knee must bow, unto righteousness, to the right way. We have seen from that time to this time amongst the people, more people growing dreadlocks who scorn the dreadlocks, people seeking to eat natural and healthy and so forward. They even legalizing herbs around the place. So these
Yes.
things Rastafari advocated for many of years.
And this is why I tell people our golden years, our glory days are ahead of us, The the, the,
Uh,
the apex for Rastafari is in front of us, it's not behind us. Someone would look to the 70s as the golden era. Yes, that was a mighty time, but we have not even scratched the surface of the power, you know what I mean, and the strength and the islandness that we can manifest if we work together. You know what I mean? So that is one of the things that I'm looking forward to, and bringing ones like the eye here is part of that, so that we overstand, as I say, our own greatness. I want to look at some of the eye works. I'm going to ask my producer to bring up some of the works, and I want the eye to just narrate around what we're seeing, the inspiration, and these things. So I'm going to give my producer a time. All right. So before we go into this, I want to just big up the Lion Pride on Patreon. I know that the item see the special features. We're using a platform called StreamYard, the paid version, and this is the kind of thing that the Lion Pride on Patreon is assisting with to make sure we think don't look shabby. You understand? We can have multiple screen per thing, and we're going to be doing more of this type of programming where we can look at videos, we can comment, we can do reactions, we can get guests to highlight what they're doing. So explain what we're looking at here, Congo Isle.
Yes, my brother, give thanks, Aya. Yes, Aya. This is one of Iman illustrations. Initially hand drawn, it's a mixed media art piece when it's mixed with the hand drawn art, likewise with the graphic designs. Yeah, man. I put forward this in a series of art, which we have it in a kind of contemporary form. Brooklyn, New York is a artful city, likewise, just like Ethiopia, where it's surrounded by street art and so forward. So one may see the influence and in such I have a kind of art that a lot of the young generation are inclined unto. So I and I are satisfied with such, I and I wanted to make it more, palatable for that younger generation to even them to incline unto His Majesty and, become acquainted with that standard. Yes, I am.
This was one of the pictures that made I ask the eye if the eye know how to deal with animation, because the character design, the art style, this looks like it's coming out of an animated film. You know what I mean?
Uh,
In terms of how the eye is drawn, the king, and this is why every time I talk to this brethren, I say, brethren, go learn the animation, make we done them right now, because look at this. I mean, the details, the simplicity. I wish we could make it bigger, but ones can go to the eye, Facebook, follow the eye on social media. Some of these eye tricks are available where the item can, more closely. We have the information on the ticker tape screen below. So this is a masterpiece, brethren. I would say that. Let us see the next eye trick.
much thanks, brother. Give thanks.
All right. While the producer bring up, are you working on anything right now?
Yes, I and I in the midst of several different projects,
Okay.
Yes, I am. Yeah, man, I and I are, I currently illustrating a children's book.
Wow.
Yes, we're doing some video editing for local artists likewise, and I fellow artist here, Isaac Faith.
Yes, I see Isaac and the I work together. I need to interview that brethren as well. I see
Yeah,
that.
man, very, very powerful brethren. I respect to him.
Yes.
Yes, Yes, Many things are cooking up, my brother.
I love it. Do you mind to say how much you charge to do a video production?
Yeah, man, the price vary depending on what a one may need. I would definitely can make contact information available where one could reach out to me and we can go over the details of such where we can tailor something specific to what a one may want, Yeah.
And please go to the Brethren YouTube and see the quality of the edits, the cuts, the different inventive shots. I'm not just bigging up the Brethren, but this iTrade here is a more simplistic kind of artwork. But what is explain the inspiration and what we're looking at here?
Yes, the inspiration is, it's I want to really, of course, one can see the position, it would look like a one holding a gun, so it's more like, to arming yourself with education, to rise above ignorance. And so, as the statement says, education is key. It's like not to arm yourself with a gun, but to arm yourself with education. Yes, what I mean? That's education is key, that's one of the highlights or what His Majesty really exemplify and encourage. I even see that I even highlight that His Majesty made education free from primary to university. So, we appreciate love these highlights, Yes, I am.
Very crucial. And King Culture Production.
Yes, I am.
Is that your company?
Yes, that's my company, it encapsulates all those several different works, whether it's the textile, whether it's the design, whether it's the video production. Yes,
Okay. This is a powerful fullness because as I say, I'm going to reason with the eye about the creative ecosystem model, because the eye is a perfect person with all of the different aspects that the eye have, It's very powerful, very powerful. Let's get the next eye trait. This is one of my favorites. Just explain what we're looking at here.
Yes, sire. These are one of I and I more fun pieces I would say that I and I like to get into, a collage piece reflecting the Ethiopian culture and heritage. You know, it actually say Ethiopia freedom, you
Okay.
know. And I see ones like His Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First, Her Royal Highness Empress Menen, Emperor Johannes, Mama Baby I, Mungo Rakai, Emperor Menelik, Lalibela. Yeah, man, reflecting the Ethiopian culture and intertwined, you know. I know that I have an educated audience, yet you know, like to state that even currently in Ethiopia, Rastafari is recognized as the 83rd tribe of Ethiopia. So intertwining I elders and the Rastafari, and the Ethiopian heroes in this heritage piece, it's one of Iman's favorites likewise too, you know?
Wow. Powerful, powerful. And if you have any questions for Ras Ily Culcha, put them in the comments. Big up the Lion Pride, checking in from all sides and all tribes. Big up yourself. Hamilton Brown, that is phenomenal work of the king. Yes, we bring only top of the line ones on this platform. Anybody you see on this platform certified in terms of their work product. All praises to the Most High, Jah, Rastafari. Big up, big up, big up. That would be a great sticker. I agree. That's a T-shirt. That is so many things, you know what I mean, in terms of product. Hamilton Brown, greeting, checking in from New Hampshire, USA. Big up yourself, Hamilton Brown. Let's look at the next eye threat. We give thanks, you know what I mean. This is also powerful. Powerful. If you're watching live, put some fire in the comment section if you love the Brethren artwork. Put some fire. Make we hot up the thing right now. I don't know why we have to be shy right now. This is powerful works. We're looking at a great, one of our great, they have man like Basquiat and man I celebrate Picasso and all kind of man. We have greats among I and I. You know what I mean? We don't have to wait till they're not with I and I if we recognize them. You know what I mean? These are not normal talent, you know? Powerful, powerful. I don't see no fire in the comment section. Yes, big up model car. I want to see some fire emojis. Yes, hot it up, hot it up, hot it up, hot it up. Yes, this is not no normal work. Lion Pride action thing we are say. Hot up the fire in the comment section if you love the work. Explain this work, the inspiration, the design. What are we looking at?
Yes, sire. This is His Majesty, of course, Emperor Haile Selassie the First in Ethiopian attire, the royal Kaaba. You know, as His Majesty functioning as the regent plenipotentiary here to the throne in the year 1919, did send a delegation to the United States of some officials to renew a treaty, a 1904 treaty between Menelik and the United States. And certain ones who bear witness to this delegation, when seeing that these Ethiopians were treated at a similar stature as Europeans at the time, those people at that time say they're going to renounce their second-class station of Negroes and identify as Ethiopians. And when they saw these officials, they were all wearing kabas, you know. So that vision of African dignity and liberty at that Jim Crow era was that vision of the Kaaba. So when I see His Majesty in the Kaaba, you know, is this similar attire His Majesty wore at the League of Nations you know. And so when I see His Majesty going to Europe in this big August assembly with majority of Europeans, and His Majesty have on his African kaba and his big afro, and say, pardon me, I would like to speak French, but it's only through my African Ethiopian language I could express with the full soul and spirit. Pardon me if it's not verbatim, but you know,
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
man. So it's that dignity.
I touch it the right way. What medium? What did you use to draw this and to color it? Because it's very stunning.
Yes, I man draw the initial drawing of His Majesty, right? And then I have a Photoshop like program where I man will do the coloring on, you know, different layers and so forward. So yeah, that's the 2 steps to really bring it to life, you know. Yes, I am.
Powerful. And when you say the kaba, that's like the cape that His Majesty wear.
Pardon me. Yes, I am. It's that outer cape His Majesty have on. Yeah, the real Superman thing.
I was gonna say that we're in a culture where you see superheroes with these capes, and then you had the Redeemer come with an actual cape to set the captives free. You know what I mean? But it's just how we look at it. You know what I mean? But the history is there, the proof is there, the brethren has drawn it. You know what I mean? So it really is powerful. You know what I mean? The eye future is bright. Let's see the next image.
Give thanks, my brother. Give thanks. Every time, man.
This one sophisticated. You know what I mean? I had to use this one for the thumbnail. Explain this, what we're looking at here.
Yes, this is one of Iman acrylic canvas paintings of His Majesty. Yes, Iman I do painting likewise. Yeah, so this is a acrylic piece of His Majesty. Yeah, man, Iman full joy the painting likewise. You know, Iman, in my expression of art, it more time lean in the direction of His Majesty. That is all visual art and expressing, Iman inward. Iman likewise, speak quite figuratively. Even Iman spouse find, I need to be more direct. She find I speak like in poetry. Well, Iman is artist through and through.
No, the eye is an artist to the bone. I know a few ones that are really true creatives, and I have to add that to the eye to that list in terms of being a pure creative, just exuding creativity and artistry. And that is a frequency, that's a divine frequency to be able to produce at this level. When I get my stuff together, I mean, you might not want to say, but I would have to purchase this from the eye and put it up in my old skin. Do you sell paintings? Do you sell the eye paintings? How does that work? Or prints?
Both, you know what I mean? I sell both paintings and prints. As you know, there's many people that appreciate art and also the authentic pieces and so forward. And likewise, to make it available to people who may not be able to afford it, but appreciate of the art same way, and I love to see it roundabouts in places, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, I appreciate love. I ones appreciate of it. So yeah, I'm a fire. If you want something now, we can make it work.
We're going to talk because I'm in the process of building in Ghana. We're going to be bringing more of that journey on this platform as well. The whole, because I'm like the eye. I'm in process. I purchased land, and we're building. So when that property is done, we're gonna have to purchase a Ras Ily Culcha for put in there. You know what I mean? So we'll be in touch with the eye. I mean, we're gonna be doing some different works together before that, but definitely I'll go buy one of them painting fit the gates on the continent, African with the Ras Ily Culcha original. You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Give
So
thanks, I'm sorry, but I must also commend the eye on them endeavors likewise, and I see the development and how it's growing and what's taking place there. It's a beautiful thing, So, collect, blessings to the eye, the family from Atlanta and those in Ghana and those who have a hand in that endeavor. It's a wonderful thing, my brother. Give
yeah,
thanks, man.
man, and I have an exclusive reasoning with Bingy Sean. We're getting ready to celebrate the anniversary of the Kazi Institute in Ghana. So we're gonna have a special episode on that. So stay tuned for that mid-October. We're going to be featuring a lot around the Ghana work. So which we say is a proof of concept that we can build Zion in real life. It's just I and I self need to come together and do it. So definitely we give thanks. Let's see the next image. And I hope the item are full enjoying the mastery. All right, so this now we're getting into the needlework, the tam work. What are we looking at here?
Yes, this is a crochet piece now. Likewise, forgive me for not remembering the sister name at the time, Yeah, her Instagram link is Honey at Murdo. She did the shelves on the hat, so it's a combination work.
Okay.
Yes, sire. Yes, sire. So yeah, man, that's the and I typical diamond crochet style there. Give thanks, sire.
Mm-hmm. All right, bring up the next one. Bring up the next one. I want the item to see the type of work. It don't matter the medium, the artwork. Big up Dre Island and I family them as well. Wear the tam. What are we looking at here?
Yes, sire. This is as I say, the Virgin J Island support the endeavor likewise. That's one of I and I coffee and chocolate diamond style same way it's a popular one where and I give thanks Yeah, and I have it several hats distributed in Jamaica so forward. Yeah, man. So yeah, this is Dre Island in Jamaica with 199 diamond crochet again.
Mighty, mighty, mighty. Bring up the next image. And we're going through the brethren tam, just showing some example because we can hear the brethren talk, but seeing, you know what I mean, it bring it to another level. You know what I mean? His times can go amongst the tiger them. Big up Honorable Priest Isaac and the Tiger Nest family. The time of camouflage with the tiger. What we are looking here?
Yes, I bless. Give thanks, I man. Big up Priest Isaac Kaya. Bringing up Sister Kaya here as a model here, modeling one of I and I crochet hats, you know what I mean? Various various color hat that's made out of wool. And yes, sire. She's been an ardent supporter from long time, so I appreciate all the give thanks.
Mighty, really. So the sistering can see not just brethren, all type of style. And if ones want to get in contact, they can link the through the same links, right?
Same link, sire. Same link, sire. We're at the service of the people, sire.
Yeah, man. So we want the Lion Pride. Spend some money. Don't just look on the brethren thing. Spend some money. Make the brethren feel that the love from the Lion Pride globally. Let's see the next image. Do we have any more images? I think we have a couple more. Oh, we don't have any more.
Okay. That's quite a bit there, yes?
Yes. Give thanks. Big up the producer. This is not a solo operation. Producer is there, who is also an I queen, so I have to big her up. You know what I mean? Come sleep with her. but that is private business. Give thanks. We are here with Ras Ily Culcha, and it's a joy, as I said, to reason with the eye, watching the eye journey. How much time is the eye spending in Ethiopia currently, and what's the eye vision in terms of future? How the eye see the eye self in the next 5-10 years?
Yeah, currently I in Ethiopia intermittently between Ethiopia and New York. So yeah, I'm currently in New York. I unfortunately recently my father passed away, so I've been in the city for a little bit. Give thanks, and so yeah, as I know Rastafari, I would say I know ascending and descending Jacob's ladder. Trajectory wise, I know setting certain things in motion. As I and I are already functioning certain business, we want to take it to another level.
Yes.
And Ethiopia, I see as fertile land for a myriad of businesses. Not only to extend to the Ethiopian population, but also as Ethiopian exports.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Talk to us about the reality of needing to have income coming in while you're on the ground in Africa, because a lot of ones, have this unrealistic, they fly into Zion and they reach Zion, they're never coming forward. And, I tell ones, if you want to make the chart, visit first, you know what I mean? Scope, recognizance, you know what I mean? Do your deal. The only reason I'm not on the continent is because I don't have the income currently that can sustain. The income is coming from this side. Just explain that whole reality, because we want to talk about the realities of repatriation, and not, because a lot of ones go and then end up having to come forward permanently because they get in such a hole, or things happen they didn't plan then. Explain the reality of being on the ground.
Yes, I yeah, that's an excellent question. My mother always told me, I even see His Majesty speaking in the speeches likewise, in a way that, failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
Yes.
So it's indeed essential on the ground, to find that source of income. Many ones, like in particularly Ethiopia, find themselves as teachers, teaching English language and so forward. They have ones hustling in between, yeah, but the potential is there. I witness, as a brethren coming forward, like I said, I go intermittently. I population of people there, as far as Rastafari, are a majority of retirees per se, where they live on a passive income, and their immediate concerns weren't the things such as like daycare or so forward. It's like,
exactly, yes.
So it's.
I have youths too. That's a next serious part of it. Talk about that part too, because that's also I'm on challenge. I have young children, well, teenagers now, but school, all of these things. Talk about the full scope of the reality.
Yes, it's indeed a reality, and and for such cause, I man even encourage young professionals to consider Ethiopia, and that I know a few young families, and I know from His Majesty time that His Majesty established many universities in Ethiopia. So we're in the uh, potential or opportunity for one to get their education is very much possible in Ethiopia. As I alluded to earlier, that Rastafari is recognized as the 83rd tribe in Ethiopia. And with that, of recent, since 2017, they have been issuing residence IDs, wherein this allows for one who possess the resident ID for their children now to even attend school and university at the local rates, even likewise residence and bank loans all at local rates, wherein, certain doors have been opened for one now who do have his family or her family to be able to consider a livelihood there. It's
Very
possibilities are there. Yes, I am.
positive. And I just put up the first clip of an interview with Ras Kabinda, the legend of Desmond Trotter. He was the first to get that ID that the eye speaking of. He speaks about it in the interview. When the eye them see the full interview, you will see him talk about that and some of the challenges with that. But if you haven't watched that episode, family, go and watch the legend of Desmond Trotter. Ras Kabinda tells his story. It really is a blockbuster film. You know what I mean? When you hear the life that the brethren has lived, and also being one of the pioneers in Shashamani. Very powerful story. So Ethiopia is for the eye because I need a property in Ethiopia, because for the future volumes of my book, I really want to learn Amharic, and I want to be able to study some of the, go to the university and study some of the texts and things in the original language. That's part of my vision, but the foundation will be Ghana. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I vision myself having a few properties on the continent, because Lion Voice Network, we're going to be building production studios, on the continent. That's the vision for I, is really just producing Rastafari centric content, but having, just like how Tyler Perry have him things set up, 50 Cent have him things set up. We want to have our studio lot where we have Rastafari news program, Rastafari film, you know what I mean? All different, just Rastafari content, because again, we have our own peculiar culture that we need to cater to. You know what I mean? It's not, we need to wait till Paramount make a Marley movie and we feel so elated because we see 2 seconds of Bingy drum. We need a movie about Bingy, Naya Bingy, Mandem, or even Naya Bingy superheroes, you know what I mean, for the youth them, you know what I mean. We have to go in our irids and create. There's no limit to what I and I can create within our worldview and our culture. So that's how I'm on vision. But Ethiopia definitely is one of the spaces that, I have so much love for, because I study the history. What does the IC now in modern Ethiopia? Because we also romanticize Ethiopia a lot, but modern Ethiopia is moving fast, you know what I mean? And the eye is going in and out, so the eye is getting a real-time perspective on the changes from year to year as it becomes more modernized. What is the eye perspective?
Yes, I is truly a true sound, As I say, I go intermittently, and every time I'm on go, it's something new there. And the pace of development, Ethiopia is a country that grows 10% in its GDP annually. So it's a thing, in all honesty, I and I Rastafari, could easily find myself falling behind in such a pace. Even in I village of Shashamani,
Yes.
when it was presented to the Rastafari community, it was a rural farm area.
Yes.
Yeah, even ones who did get allocated land, they get acres of land, big tracts of land, papadaya, and,
Yes.
you know. So where today now, as today now, it's more coming to a more urban development, more houses, and more the city is expanding. So indeed, it's Ethiopia is indeed changing and developing. And with that, the opportunities more open for professionals to fill the ranks of such as Ethiopia's broadening in those fields and would need skilled professionals. Currently a lot of as can see in Addis Ababa, a lot of Chinese companies would get contracts to build a lot of big edifices in Ethiopia. As one may know, there was a Chinese corporation that rebuilt the AU headquarters. So it indeed has the opportunity, and the doors open for the skilled professionals in Ethiopia. Yes, my brother. You know.
Definitely. Do you think it's realistic though for ones to go there to look for a job, or do you need to go there with a mindset of creating your own kind of niche or employment situation?
Yes, well, in certain regions, the cost of living is not so high. Wherein now the pay rate wouldn't be so high likewise,
Okay.
right? So, like I said, there's ones who now take up the teaching profession or teaching English, in schools and so forward, and they would live on their salary, which often, will be a similar situation like in New York, almost like living hand to mouth.
Yes, yes.
With the vast population there, you have higher opportunities in tutoring, or even seeking employment in the foreign schools, like the school of the American school or the French school, where they'll give you a competing salary as a foreign country. They give you a foreign salary.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
So
But at one point I would just like to block just that amongst like the common people, that the sentiment was that, we hear from the taxi drivers that one would say it was much better time with Haile Selassie. Because, at the reign of His Majesty at that time, His Majesty was very influential in the Bretton Woods Agreement and setting the world standard currency. And at the time, the US dollar and the Ethiopia was even 1 for 1.
yes, I remember.
Uh, you know, yeah. So yeah, that's a point. That yeah, man. So it's it's coming full circle. I appreciate even the interview I did do with Ras Makanen, and which highlight
Yes.
certain aspects of His Majesty, even speaking of, his time will come again. And so I see in the full circle as one's reconsidering maybe His Majesty was right in this policy, or maybe we should emulate His Majesty in this way. It's yeah, man.
And His Majesty also said that he, in terms of physically, his time would come to a close, and the oncoming generation. And I think what he was saying is that it's I and I rising that is going to return the rain, because he reigns now in the hearts. You know what I mean? And he also said that, the sacrifice of Yeshua, the Almighty, dwell within the hearts of man. You know what I mean? So I really feel that I and I rising, and this is why it's so important that we get our act together, is because it's I and I that have to continue the work, the African unity, the development of that heaven on earth, because that's what His Majesty was doing. The highest of Himself shall establish I and I, by establishing the foundation in the only independent African nation, and then by rising the living standards, because He elevated the people from peasants to citizens. You know what I mean? They had no rights under the feudal era. They were at the will of the Rases, the great kingdoms. But His Majesty, gave them a constitution of His own volition, giving them a Bill of Rights as citizens of the realm, and no longer only as vassals or as peasants. Again, set the captives free. He shall wipe away transgression and rule inequality. So I and I, as the children, our duty is to continue the reign, because right now, they're fighting the Lion of Judah flag, but this flag flies on every continent on the planet right now. And it was not by the barrel of a gun that this happened. It was through word, sound, and power. That every continent you will find the Lion of Judah flag flying somewhere on, in somebody's gate somewhere. The flag is global now. And this is part of the power. And this brethren is part of those frontline soldiers that receive the call, and more importantly, that answer the call, because the eye can get the call and ignore the call, as many have done. But the eye has answered the call, and the eye is manifesting the excellence of the emperor in many different fields. If you want to see I and this brethren work together to bring some Rastafari animation, you need to join the Lion Pride, because I need to can pay this brethren. You hear the brethren saying work off a contract. I can't come to him with a story. You know what I mean? I have to come with some currency and say, Ras Ily Culcha, we have built an animated film, You just lock off them works there and make we lock in and get this done. You have to have money to do that. So if you want to see these things happen, family, join the Lion Pride on Patreon, $5, $10. Do what you have to do. Make we manifest this, because I don't want to go the sponsorship route. You know what I mean? We're going to get sponsors, but the crowd have to fund this thing. You know what I mean? The people have to fund this thing to make it truly powerful and independent. You know what I mean? So before we go, I'm going to ask that to get any final sound. Someone said, can you drop your website in the comments? Producer, can you pull up that ticker tape so the ones them can get? We have some new ones who have joined our live here. Put up the information. There you go. So that's all of the brethren information right there. If you're not following him on YouTube, make sure you go over, follow him on YouTube, follow him on IG, social media. And if you have $5, $10, $20 and the brethren have something to sell and you can buy it, circulate the Rastafari dollar. Tell a friend, tell a sister. Let us, because we're keeping Babylon alive, because we circulate our dollar in Babylon. We buy a Starbucks, we buy a this, we buy that. We do all of these things without thinking. All I'm saying, as Lion Pride, $5, $10, $20 a strong or a month, put that forward to a Rastafari creative or creator, and make that dollar circulate. We want to put that in our culture big time. Buy black, stay black, build black. You know what I mean? We have to do that, because no one is coming to save us. Big up his Empress, Sister Janelle. Does he get any inspiration from his Empress? All right, somebody want to look like them know the eye well. And big up Sister Janelle, same way. We have to get her up on this program, but does the eye get inspiration from their Empress?
Yeah, very much so. She's the one that has made that journey to Ethiopia and reside there for over 13 years. So, me and being in such close proximity to her, get an even first-hand look of even the experiences, that it's not all peaches and cream, you know, that a lot of things likewise, you know, that, you know, you make sacrifices even to be at the line. You might miss birthday, you might miss a wedding, you know, it's a lot of ups and downs. But I appreciate love the proximity, and you know, it's been a benefit with her in my life, you know, as His Majesty would refer to Empress Menen as his closest advisor. You know, Iman did reason with her even before coming on this program, and you know, she gave Iman certain inspiration and direction to reason on. So I give thanks to that. Being able to have that confidant in Iman life, yes.
It's crucial, and I purposely didn't touch the love story. I want to get the love story out of my sister. But I said the first interview, let me just get out the virgin story, and then we're going to the look. I've been watching the whole story unfold.
It's thanks, man.
And it's a joy to see the joy in both of the items, because I know it's two powerful angels coming together, you know what I mean? So I really have to bring the eye forward and maybe jointly with the sister so that we can get the full love story, because we promote that on this platform as well, you know, the coming together of brethren and sisters to build the nation, because that's the only way it's going to happen. So big up yourselves, Zaire Stone. You made me show my hand before. I said I was going to wait till the next interview, because we don't do just one interview on this platform. I said I was going to wait for part 2 if we get the love story. But she asked the question, we had to touch it. We had to touch it this time. Jalifa, this is my artist, superstar. Love the artworks. Give thanks for watching and spending your time from Trinidad. I want to see a collab with this brethren. Jalifa does hip hop too, you know.
Yeah, man. I know. I big up Sister Jalifa every time, man. Yeah, man.
So, and we need to do a serious collab, you know, with the Rastafari hip hop. A long time, more Rastafari take over hip hop. I don't know if you remember I and I.
Yeah, man. How you mean, man?
Yeah. I used to listen to them back in the day, Pete Rock production. And a long time we've been doing hip hop, Rastafari hip hop. I feel like I and I were pioneers. Aya Gift, Jaja, who is Kush the Don right now. From back in the late 90s, early 2000s, we were doing a whole heap of music, you know what I mean? That's some of the music I play on the episode. Sometimes I dip into them archives, but we have to do something, you know, because we have a lot of us who are Rasses that nice on the mic within the hip hop, you know what I mean? We have to do some collabs, you know what I mean? So we are gonna work out something. Hamilton Brown, my sister, to Kaya Isis. Okay, Jalifa, big up yourself. Yes, I don't know what I was saying. Rastafari live, Army Gideon TV, big up yourself. Lion Pride checking in. We got to support the independence as Rastafari. Yes, I'm purposely building this platform independent. I tell the item, my superpower is the network. You know what I mean? I can go, I know I can get sponsors to write a check for I. But then guess what? When the sponsor don't like my talk and they feel like they don't want to write the check there, and my whole business model is built off of the sponsor, my thing crash. You know, if I have 1,000 people spending $10 with I prefer that, you know what I mean, or $5 with I prefer that security to I. And I tell this to every artist. I've been counseling artists to do this for years until I said, you know what, I have to do it myself, because they don't believe because everybody want to be a star, you know. And when you tell a man all you need is 1,000 people to have a sustainable business model, that sound too small, like you try small down them thing, you know. A lot of artists. So I said, let me just demonstrate that it's a workable model. And that's what we're doing now. Big up Freeway, Dread, Lion Pride, and Patreon checking in. These are the people who support I Ily Culcha, you know what I mean? My family them. So I have to big them up. But we've gone 2 hours. Tell I any final sound, anything that you want to promote, anything you want to share with the Lion Pride and the global family. And global family, let us again circulate some dollars with the brethren. I'm gonna call the brethren in a strong, and the brethren should tell her, yeah man, me see couple sales coming in, and me see, you know what I mean? That is what we're building here. This is not just a watch and peep army. We want to build an army of strength and support. So what's your final sounds, you know?
Yeah, man. Well, I man give thanks to be here. I give thanks for the time period I has given I the opportunity to express and display I man work. I man, there is extensively shown I man creations, and I man appreciative of that. I would encourage ones to check I man out. Ultimately, at this time, and I know that the earth itself cries out for righteousness. Many countries are at the brink of war, and there's many different systematic changes. And I noticed the impact of His Majesty during his time. And here in the name of His Majesty, I must also be also the standard bearers as the world cry out for righteousness. Yeah, to remember to put aside these wars. You can use these nuclear energies to empower whole countries that even today that don't even have lights and things. Yeah, I can do more positive things. So my fullness is the more encouraged the unity amongst I and I people, the consciousness of that righteousness and rising the consciousness of I and I people and people around the world towards peaceful endeavors and development, and to put aside the war and the malice and the hatred and so forward. I give thanks for all the business support, but above all, we would love to encourage the love and peace and righteousness. Cast for cast, as we say, bit by bit. Yeah.
And as I say, give thanks. Know that this is a home. We're building these platforms for artists and creatives like the eye to have a place, so that when you go, you don't get a 1 minute question on His Majesty, and then they move on to something else, and your Rastafari party, they don't really want to hear that. They just want to hear about something else. So we built this so that we can feel comfortable. If a man want to read a speech, we pause and we listen to His Majesty, because that is who we are, you know what I mean? That is how we live. Even my intro, yes, it's a 7-minute intro. That's against YouTube law. You're supposed to jump right into your content. But Naya Bingi, we take time, we simmer the pot, you know what I mean? We bubble the thing, warm and easy. So we're curating the thing in a certain way here, so that people can get used to I and I. We're gonna launch stars from this platform. We're gonna build, big up the Africa family that's coming on board. Kenya family, Libya, Ghana, South Africa are the main territories right now, but we're gonna be targeting other African countries. And we really just give thanks for the I being a living embodiment, of His Majesty in terms of being productive, because for brethren, that's the main thing I really am trying to tell young brethren, is to be productive. Identify your purpose and live in your purpose, and then monetize your purpose, because that's where your treasure is. When you're living in your purpose, it doesn't feel like work, you know what I mean? When the eye is painting, or the eye is doing music, or the eye is doing one of the eye creative, I know I don't feel like work, because you would be doing it anyway. It's just a part of the eye. And that's when you have identified your purpose, when what you're doing even though it's hard, I'm not saying it's easy, you know, because when you're editing a video, that's not a simple something. I edit my own content as well, and it's tedious. You know,
Tedious.
it's tedious. You have to sit, and there's no shortcut. You have to watch through that, cut out that. You know what I mean? That is something that, you know what I mean, it's not nice, but it's still a joy because you love what you're doing. You know what I mean? And you're creating something that you can then share with the world. So I tell brethren, purpose. That should be, if you don't know what you're doing, a lot of our brethren are rubbing out them hand nigga, are smoking of herb, them are listening to music, but they're not productive. And this is why we can't sustain families, because you're not earning an income, and then you're going to tell a sister and say she don't love you. But if she don't earn an income, she cannot be with the eye, because the reality of family mean money have to spend, and nobody want to take care of a grown adult male, you know what I mean, because you want burn a chalice and you read Psalms, that not gonna work, you know what I mean. We have to be realistic, and the Most High has blessed I and I with talents and skills and abilities, and we have to search those, identify them. And I think the Ras Ily Culcha is a perfect example, because you didn't just lock in as a painter, you didn't just lock in as a crochet specialist, you know what I mean. You're not just an artist that does music, you do murals, contract. Do you do album artwork and covers?
Yes, I. Pardon, I do. I have done many likewise.
You see, so for the artists that are watching this and who will watch that, link the brethren and contract him for your next album cover. I was thinking about the eye for my next book cover, you know. I had a Ras. Do I know Jovan Puran?
Yeah, I'm a brethren. Yes, I.
Okay, he did my book cover, but you know what I mean. I'm
Yeah,
trying to stay within I Far family for the books them. So I'm actually getting ready to publish a fiction book. I might have to come talk to the eye about the cover for that, you know. I'm getting into fiction, you know what I mean. So there's so much ability for collaboration, and the item as the audience get to watch these connections live, you know what I mean, because we're talking in real time. You're seeing them happen. So I really give thanks once again for the eye. Perfect love. Any final sound, because you know black people take long to say goodbye. Any final
yeah, man. You know what? Yeah, once a person has decided upon his life work,
yes.
he is fulfilling a vital need. What he then need is faith and a courageous irit. So no longer preferring himself, he may address himself to the task, so he may be effective. So make I and I be effective in I and I doings. This is an effective program. It has indeed fed Iman, and I appreciate of it. I pray that it continues in the pace that it has been going. I commend the eye. I see that it's reached over 5,000 subscribers.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Love to you and your audience. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Ras Tafari.
So you heard the Virgin quote, "I Majesty." I can't say nothing more. But this is why we're here, Lion Pride. Clap yourselves, because without the item, this would not be possible. Why? Because the time has come for the lions to tell our own story. And this is the lion voice. Here they are.
Last to the first.
When the lion roar, Princess draw near. And the Rastaman voice them want hear. When the lion is I, Ras Ily Culcha, representing for the lion voice. Yeah man, log in and subscribe and all the vibes. Let this content be the content of choice. Lion voice. Arr.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega, representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Ras Tafari, live it. Hey, the lion's voice, Ras Tafari.
Yeah, man. Greetings, Ras Tafari, Hail Emperor the King Selassie the First, the Perfect Balance Empress Menin. This is first man for Ras Tafari Indigenous Village, recognizing, accepting, promoting Lion Voice. Yes, the voice of Ras Tafari, speaking about Ras Tafari, educating Ras Tafari, preserving, protecting Ras Tafari. Give thanks.
Aye.
Amina, the time has come for the lioness to tell our own story. No surrender, no retreat, we are Jaja soldier. Rougher than the streets, tougher than a boulder. Bigging up Lion's Voice. Now put it, I Jollifer said that.
Yeah, David Dread of Steel Person. I'm saying hail to Lion Voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here. Hear me now. Oh, yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion Voice.